ToonGrin.com.
Hey there everybody, how you guys all doing? Today we're actually going to start doing some of our, I guess we'd call them patented,
ToonGrin trailer reactions.
Yeah, so the first one up is going to be called Disenchantment. It's going to be an animated series done by Matt Groening, the guy who created The Simpsons and Futurama. He's going to have a, what was it, 20 episode run? That's what they said?
Yeah, it looks like a 20 episode run on Netflix. It's definitely going to be a much fresher take on just what his production schedule usually is, because he usually just does episodic stuff like The Simpsons and Futurama, which are still being syndicated and such. But now we'll just see how he does well on Netflix.
Oh shit! Look what they got for executives.
Oh, Bill Oakley, Joss Weinstein. Oh.
Dude, that's the Mission Hill guys.
Oh, what? Oh, well, then I'm really excited for this.
They wrote a lot of the acclaimed episodes of The Simpsons, like I think Homer versus Bush, I think was them.
Oh.
The one with Frank Grimes.
Oh, then I'm really. Then that just makes me really happy.
Oh yeah, they're solid. I was reading up on them. I really wish Mission Hill would just get revived on Netflix.
Yeah.
But
well, we'll just see.
All right. Well, Matt's bringing in good talent at least, and they were showrunners for I think 2 seasons of Simpsons.
Yeah, they're gonna be executive produced, so they'll have some sort of hand over everything.
All right. So we're watching the trailer of Disenchantment, and 3, 2, 1, play.
You've seen the future in Futurama.
We have.
Yeah.
You've seen the present in Springfield.
We have.
So, what's the obvious third move?
The fantasy setting.
The past, of course. Welcome to Dreamland.
Hear ye! Royal Court is now in session!
Let's have a look at this no-good pile of scum. Weak chin, buck teeth, and wow!
Hi, Dad.
Disenchantment, August 17th on Netflix.
Wouldn't have killed them to have a little more to it.
Yeah, it's definitely just why it's called a teaser at first. But it's just gonna be the girl, the little Bart Simpson goblin guy that has the bag over his head.
Yeah, you noticed that, right? Like he kind of looks like
just like a Bart Simpson doll.
Or like the did you ever see the episode with the gremlin? It was like one of the Halloween episodes of The Simpsons.
Oh yeah, right, yeah.
I think the gremlin also looked like Bart Simpson actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got like the Bart Simpson shorts too.
Yeah, so it's got like a little Bart Simpson and a little devil guy.
But John DiMaggio is the king, so it looks like he's gonna bring in talent from his other shows.
Yeah. Yeah, that would make sense after all. He has such that clout after all.
Yeah, well, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt with this show to at least try it. Because I like The Simpsons and I like Futurama. Yeah, I'm kind of sick of the two now because they've been around for so many years.
Yeah.
They've been around for so many years and the formula hasn't really changed or anything. And that's fine, though. I mean, like,
right.
You know, for newcomers, you know, The Simpsons now or how they're going to remember it when they're older, like how, you know, I remember the older seasons.
Yeah. I'm hoping Disenchantment is more like Futurama to me, which it had episodic elements to it, but had a lot more serialization, so like the relationships and everything like that. So that's sort of what I'm hoping for, because that's sort of like where I feel that episodic content like this should be heading in.
I think you'll be okay then, because Oakley and Weinstein are very much about that. When they were working on The Simpsons, when they did the I believe they worked on the storyline Who Shot Mr. Burns?
Right.
They originally wanted it to be Barney Gumble who shot Mr. Burns, so then they could get Barney Gumble off the show and it could maybe change the dichotomy, maybe bring in a new friend for Homer to be friends with. And the higher ups were like, no.
Yeah,
no,
Barney Gumble's too funny.
Yeah, you can't change. Things need to stay the same. That's how we keep it on life support.
Yeah.
And if you guys have ever seen Mission Hill, the show that Oakley and Weinstein did create, those two guys, if you ever watch Mission Hill had continuity. It was mostly episodic on primarily the level of what it was. It was a adult animated sitcom, but there were tiny degrees of continuity that made it more engaging, in my opinion.
Yeah, that would basically just sort of stretch out over the whole series. That basically there would be an evolution to it. There were episodic elements, obviously, like the status quo, just the 4 people inside their apartment, and it's just wacky adventures in Mission Hill.
Yeah.
Like, that's the episodic element. But the characters themselves could actually evolve and change within it. They just have to all still stay within the apartment.
Yeah, well, also remember, like, they changed things where it's like, in the early on of the season, Andy worked at was it a waterbed? Waterbed store,
Yeah,
and
it's
then
the furniture warehouse sort of thing. Yeah.
and then he went on unemployment for a few episodes, and then eventually he went to Jim to his work, and he learned that Jim's like a is like a higher up in a graphic design like ad firm.
Yeah.
And then that's where he got a job, and like it showed a degree of development with the character. And I want to believe that Oakley Weinstein will come in, and hopefully Matt will let them do what he brought them in for.
Yeah.
And he won't micromanage too much, because I really do feel if you watch like Futurama, like the recent Futurama, where you watch the recent Simpsons, he's really trying to invoke something that leans more like how Family Guy has been doing humor.
Yeah.
As if to say, like, either he's bitter that Simpsons weren't doing as well as Family Guy is, or maybe it's something as simple as maybe Fox told him like that you have to do that.
Yeah, it's probably something like Fox probably told him to do that, because still, in the grand staying power of everything, Family Guy humor is basically becoming more prevalent in a lot of different shows, even in live action.
Mm-hmm. Where would you stand on this? Do you think Matt Groening has it in him to make another good cartoon series?
Well, I don't think anyone really has it in them to make a really good cartoon, and I think Matt Groening has the track record to basically show that he does know how to make a series that basically can last a heck of a long time. And on Netflix, though, it's a new sort of stallion from the right on, because it's not really one of those things right now that basically has like long-lasting series and such. Like the longest one that I know of so far that's been made exclusively by Netflix would be BoJack Horseman, but it's going on to its 5th season, I believe.
I think Voltron just went to season 6 or 7.
Yeah.
But Voltron also has they ended up changing the amount of episodes in a season. So what should be like one season is broken essentially into 2.
Yeah.
So that might be something different. I do like the fact that Netflix is starting to engage more with the concept of original content instead of just buying, essentially viewing rights of stuff that was on the air.
Yeah.
I like that. I like the fact that they're creating. There's essentially this great avenue for adult animation, because you and I have had that conversation before, where it's like, why isn't there enough quality written adult animated shows on there?
Yeah.
Like for every Venture Brothers or Mission Hill, there's like a Tim and Eric, or most of the Adult Swim lineup is usually of stupid stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And
Exactly.
it seems rare, honestly. Even now, I can't think of too many Adult Swim shows.
That really does stick out in your mind. Yeah.
Or are even around anymore, because they go through them so quickly.
Yeah, but just bottom line, where are you at with Disenchantment?
I'll give it a shot, most certainly. I loved The Simpsons growing up as a kid. I loved Futurama growing up as a kid. Yeah, I'm sick of them now, but that's only because I've been around the block so many times with those shows. Okay, like on The Simpsons. Man, I'm really getting sick of the story of like, hey, have you ever heard about how like your mother and I first met? They've done that story so many freaking times in The Simpsons that it's lost all meaning actually at this point.
Yeah.
And then with the advent of like the movie, I feel like The Simpsons should have ended. Mm-hmm. Even Futurama, I really don't think the animated films they did really warranted the need
For a season 6 afterwards.
Yeah, because it's like, here are these four movies, and it's like, oh, okay, and let's do a season afterwards, and it's like, oh, come on, you just had the 4 movies, do you really need another? And I felt like that season was ungodly unsatisfying, and I think the characters were really mistreated in the writing. Like, I feel like everybody had to change. Like, Leela felt so much different than the Leela I remember from earlier seasons.
Oh yeah, it's the same thing with me. Like I was still feeling that between all of the 4 movies and such, but I feel that's a better discussion for another time, because I do have a lot to say about the movies.
Yeah, and like the pitch here is, okay, so it says, series will follow the story of Princess Bean, an alcoholic princess, her elf companion Elfo, and her personal demon, Lucy, who live in a medieval kingdom known as Dreamland. So, okay, that doesn't really give you much of anything, but a lot of alum are here, dude. John DiMaggio, Billy West, Maurice LaMarche, Tress MacNeille, all iconic voice actors in their own right that have done work on the shows. Billy West is Philip J. Fry.
Yeah.
John DiMaggio is Bender. Maurice LaMarche is just everything. He does a little bit of everything.
Oh, yeah.
He gets around a lot. So does Tress MacNeille. She's another one that gets around a lot.
Yeah.
But I have high hopes, and I love the fact that Netflix is giving us new content. Frankly, that's what I love about Netflix so much, is that I love that it's this commercialist venue where you can watch shows at your own leisure.
Yeah.
Because now it's too hard to watch shows on television. Well, with all we have to work, we have to go out and stuff like that, and you don't want to buy so many like attachments and stuff to have to record or anything like that.
Yeah.
When like you pay a flat rate a month for Netflix and you're able to get much content as you can.
And you can watch as much as you want at any time you want, and it's just like
you're in control.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping the best for Matt, and I hope he does a good quality show, and we'll see where it is, because even adult animation on Netflix is kind of sparse. They have was it Big Mouths or something on there? The kids who were getting like horny
but
and
they
stuff.
also had Gretzko as well.
That's true, but that's also anime, and that's its own wonderful thing.
But it's an animated adult show still.
Is it made? That one's made specifically for Netflix?
Yeah.
Okay, the one we have is okay. Because I was watching a Gretzko before it was on Netflix. I was watching the original OVAs.
No, right.
That was like 100 episodes, and then they did another series, and that series is just for Netflix.
Yeah, I think that one is exclusively for Netflix. There was a Gretzko before, but yeah, now it's for Netflix.
So let's hope for the best for Matt. He's got a record, and unlike Butch Hartman, where his shows just are kind of crap, even though they're very successful, or at least for the appearance and Dan Phantom are.
Yeah.
Matt has a very good track record. The Simpsons, like it or hate it now, it's been going on for well over 20 years, and I'm sure any studio worth their salt would love to bite down on a proverbial fruit like that can last that long.
Oh, definitely.
I'm sure Netflix would love it if Disenchanted lasted for 20 years.
Oh, definitely. I'm pretty sure Netflix is just banking on that sort of popularity.
It's a good start with Oakley and Weinstein out of the gate as executives on there. This could really turn out to be a really good show, and I kind of hope that they'll do. I hope they'll do Easter eggs of Andy and their characters, because the guys who created Megas XLR. Do you remember Goat, the guy who ran the junkyard in Megas XLR? Mm-hmm. He's actually from another cartoon they made on MTV that got canceled, and it was an adult animated show, and that's where Goat's from.
That would be so cool if we got those Easter eggs in Disenchantment.
I'd like that. Maybe even bring in Dan Castellaneta and the other Simpsons crew, assuming they're allowed to.
Yeah.
To be on there. So let's hope for the best. It's a teaser, so you can only get so much out of it. But it looks like a Matt Groening cartoon. It's got his trademark art style to it.
Yeah. Well, just have to see just in the future in August.
Yeah. So that should be fun, and then we could always maybe report back after watching the season, and we can discuss it.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, guys. So we'll move on to some more trailers. See you soon.
Yep. Tune in later.